All right. Let's see. What else do I have here? No, we all aren't.
We aren't what?
No, we all don't.
No what?
Don't assume you speak for us all.
Ooh, yes, please.
Because I am so tired of governors, people. We all are praying. No, we're not. We're all feeling this. No, we're not. Listen. Everybody is not feeling this way. If everybody felt this way, you probably wouldn't have the problems of compliance with the people in your state. Right now. With whatever rules that are in your state. Stop talking like everybody is on board. Everybody is with you in whatever's going on in your particular state. This is not reality, and stop telling people that it is. Because if you tell people that, it doesn't make them want to acquiesce to whatever you're telling them to do.
Peer pressure doesn't work.
All right. What else do I have here? DualSense controller.
Why the game chat, man?
Look, I told you we have two different audiences.
Yeah.
So for anybody who is, you don't have to dive into it. No. I'm just bringing it up. That does
don't know what it is.
Not mean that you need to expound on it.
I don't have anything
Good.
to expound on.
Also, for those of you that are
weird.
stuck at home going like, Stadia is free.
What is
Is
Stadia?
it really?
Stadia was
Well,
Google's Google's attempt to basically play a game on any device. You can take that controller and you can sit down and you can play it on your phone. You can play it on your iPad. You can play it on your laptop. You can play it on your TV. You can play the same game anywhere, but you have to buy the game. But the service to be able to do that had a cost. And now they
and a controller.
Now it's free. I think for the next couple weeks.
From arcade?
You're talking about Apple?
Yeah.
Not really. I don't really.
Yes. So I shouldn't cancel the subscription.
Oh, you could cancel it. I wouldn't give a damn.
I mean, I went and looked at my subscriptions the other day because I'm like, what am I paying for? Because sometimes I don't remember. And so I went to look and I was like, oh, I can get rid of this one.
You can cancel it almost.
But I don't remember if arcade was there. I do remember Apple TV was there.
But the arcade, I think only one of my games I play.
And
all the other ones just offloaded.
I went there the other day to see if there was a new game I should try, but meh.
Yeah, the arcade isn't your jam.
It's not for me.
Because it's, games, not match puzzle pieces. Find the puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
Puzzle pieces.
That's
your genre.
Puzzle pieces?
Puzzle pieces.
Meh.
Slide the things.
Yeah.
So that they match into a 4 pattern. And then they disappear. That's your game.
Yeah. That's
the Montezuma and the Candy Crush and the...
Yeah, I do enjoy those.
Those are your games. I don't think they have any of those in the arcade. All of them are different.
I don't know.
But yeah, you can cancel it. I mean, literally one game I play, and because the big thing about the arcade was you can use if you have a controller, you can use your controller with it. So that's why I wanted it, and that's why I wanted to use it, because almost all the games you can use a controller with. And I'm the only one that has a controller that can work with an iPad.
Walking the dog pays for the
yeah. So that was the only reason I wanted it, and I only play one game. But I then stopped playing it when I got Hollow Knight on the Switch, because essentially it was the same sort of platformer game. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't see the Apple.
They've got a lot of stuff on
I don't
there,
see
though.
Apple winning in that realm.
No, I mean they have a lot of stuff,
They have a
ranging
lot of
from
stuff,
a lot
but-
of genres, but it's
But can
iOS gaming.
can I play my
And-
Steam games on my iPad?
Yes, you can.
Well,
See, now why do I need Apple?
You don't, even
We
though
have-
it takes up your computer because Steam is in big
True.
picture mode.
But still,
Which why would you do that if you were just gonna play it?
you might as well just play it on your
Right.
computer.
But the whole thing about the play together thing was Keegan doesn't have a computer, which she does. She doesn't have a computer. She wants to play Mortal Kombat with me. I can cast it to her iPad. She can use her controller connected to my computer, and she can play like that. If I have a game that Daddy doesn't have and we want to play it co-op, I can cast it to his computer, and we can do it that way. That was the big thing about that.
Then that means you're.
but you guys never do it.
Well, we didn't do it when it first came out because our internet was crap.
Terrible.
We would probably do it fine now.
Yeah,
we just haven't tried.
All right.
There's no point. Yeah, but the Apple thing. Peace out.
I'll look.
The only
again,
reason
but-
Apple TV is any good is
BritBox.
no, because it's free. After that,
yeah, free for a year.
if it wasn't free, I would say bye bye.
Well,
There's
and
no reason for it.
what I don't like about Apple TV is that we have a free subscription. But then if you want to watch a movie or something, you have to pay for it individually.
Yes, but those are not on
Their
Apple
thing.
TV.
I understand.
Providing it.
It's on their platform, but they don't own the rights to it.
No, it's not even on their platform.
I know, because I had to subscribe to BritBox to be able to watch all the British stuff that we
Right.
want to
Right.
watch.
All they're
It's
doing
just
is
a
giving
go-between.
you one portal to get to the other services minus Netflix.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
You take away all of the other services and just let it show what Apple does, and guess how many things will be on there.
10.
Yeah, it's like no stuff is on there because
Yeah.
they don't have any program. They only have the few shows that they
There are
did.
10 things on there.
They have C, they have the M. Night Shyamalan Bing Bang, they've got the
Alicia Keys something, the
There's one
Oprah
about-
something.
One about an artist.
one about the TV show or whatever with Steve Carell and
Yeah.
Rachel and blah blah blah. I mean, there's a couple things. Oprah's supposed to be doing something at some point.
Crew or
You know?
something, whatever it's called. The one with Steve Carell. I don't know.
Oh, they've got a lot.
They don't have a lot. You're looking at
Oh,
this
this is
wrong.
NBC.
You're
Yeah,
looking at it
see.
totally wrong. They do not have a lot. They have portals to other stuff. They do not have a lot on their thing.
I was looking
And that's why it's not really
at their TV shows.
it's not
But it's
it's
not
not taking
theirs.
over like
Right.
Netflix. It's not taking over Hulu even. And Hulu's owned by Disney, and Disney is kicking that ass right now.
Is Hulu owned by Disney?
Yes, it
Good
is.
God.
That's why they're choosing to put some things on Disney Plus, and they're choosing to put other things on Hulu.
Oh, here we go. The free for everyone. So servant one. There's not much.
Trust me, I know. That's why it was
See,
good
now
that it
you're
was
not
free.
even- and that's not even the stuff. No, that's free for everyone. See, like these movies, the Lego movie, like
Yeah, that's not-
Creed, these aren't their movies.
No.
No.
That's not their original content. You need to get into
You have to go.
the Apple Originals or whatever they're
You know, and that's all they have is the Apple Originals. It's just not. I don't see it as being all that useful
I don't even see where to get to the Apple Originals.
because they probably have them mixed in with everything else.
Yeah.
Because you can't have a service and then tell everybody you got to hear these 5 things. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Netflix coming out? You got 5 fucking movies.
I'm sure it did.
I'm waiting for my disc. I'm just waiting for my disc.
You know what's so funny is the book series that I'm reading right now, they talk about Netflix and they just got a new DVD from Netflix. And
It is crazy to me how there are people older than me that do not know what that was a thing.
yeah, it
Yes,
made
man.
me giggle because we had that conversation when one of the teachers was like, they never did DVDs on
Yes,
Netflix.
they did.
And I was like, aha, they did.
I remember that little white plastic wrapper with the red disc and it said Netflix on it.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what put Blockbuster out of business, basically.
Yep.
The discs and no late fees. Man, once you had no late fees, it was over. Everybody who had a late fee basically got cut out of the market with no late fees.
They actually have more things than you think.
Nah, they don't have
that's
stuff.
their stuff.
They don't have much, but they do have more things than you think.
They don't have a lot of stuff. Not even the banker's not theirs. That's
It
like
says an Apple original.
but
It says, "Don't pay the
says
man, be the man. Watch the new movie." An Apple original.
what? I thought the
says.
banker was Netflix.
That's what it says, man.
The morning show. That's the
all-
show I was talking about.
All you can do really is just play the beginning of the movie, see what name pops up.
No, you can just tap on it, and if you got to pay for it there, you know that it's not Apple Plus. I don't know.
Beastie Boys story.
What's up, Beastie Boys? What else do we have here?
Yeah, Apple is especially useless if you already have Netflix.
And Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
China
Okay.
bans Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Really?
Why?
They banned it.
Did they really?
They banned it.
Why
They
was
just
there-
got
was
the
there-
Switch
was
and
there
they
a Pooh Bear
banned it.
joke in there?
Nope. They banned it because the game is all about you making your own island.
Oh, individuality is a sin
And
in
they
China.
banned it. And people in Hong Kong living on that island are pissed.
Y'all just got the Switch,
Yeah, but
not
Hong
even
Kong
a
doesn't
year
have the
ago.
same bans because they have Facebook and
They
Twitter.
do now.
No, they didn't take Facebook away from Hong Kong.
Okay, we're not talking about online Facebook. We're talking about a game system and one of the games. And
Do they even have games for the Switch?
yes, yes, they have services. They pulled that game off of the services.
Wow.
Lord.
Yep. So you can't download Animal Crossing New Horizons
Well,
in the China
We'll get into
mainland.
Animal Crossing later.
I thought that was funny. I thought that was awesome. They banned a Switch game that is all about your island. Sorry, Hong Kong is not your island anymore. What, Karen?
I was just reading to see which games were available, and it says that Tencent just got the rights to launch Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Mario Odyssey.
I think that's funny because you can only be Mario.
I know.
That's as individualistic as you can be.
Except for Mario Kart.
No, I'm talking about in Odyssey.
Oh yeah, Odyssey
It's still
one
individual.
character. Yeah, the Switch.
How do you play a first-person shooter and not be individual?
I don't freaking know. There's no possible way you can do that. How do you play any game?
Doesn't The Witcher run
solo
around alone?
Game. Any game that you play single player.
Isn't the Doomslayer all by himself?
Yes. You have no help. You have
Sorry,
I
people
wish
that
you
buy
did.
the Switch in China just basically don't
Just
get to play nothing.
Wasted money on.
You get to play Tetris.
They had this. Wait,
Not even.
They had the Switch for 3 months and only had one game available.
Which
That makes
was-
sense.
Mario Brothers.
Mario Brothers?
Mario Bros.
U Deluxe.
U Deluxe.
That's the one.
The only one
Can't
that was
stop at Mario
available.
Brothers.
And then it says that
Which is actually fun.
that the Switch has become really popular, but it isn't, and the games aren't available. So now people are turning to fake games and fake controllers, like the Ring Fit thing, because they were trapped in their house. So they were buying up these fake Ring Fits, and scalpers were selling copies of the game so they could keep it at home.
Nintendo, why'd you even release it? There was no point in doing
I
it.
think, honestly, all these manufacturers outside of China that have products that have to be considerably changed to be allowed to even exist in China should stop
Yeah, just
selling
don't even bother.
in China.
Because it's not gonna help you.
Because honestly,
you're gonna make a whole different product.
Right, you're making a whole nother thing that is going to be inferior to the thing that everybody else has in the world.
Yeah.
Just
there's no point.
Stop thinking that China is going to change and they're going to at some point say, "Oh, we're going to let this in now."
And
just stop thinking that way, because they're not going to do it. So since they're not going to do it,
they don't care about you.
Okay, so
because you basically don't get to own your thing when it goes into China. You have to become partners with somebody else in order for that to exist. So and that's what Nintendo had to do. They're a minority shareholder in the Switches in China. So
you know what's sad? Tencent wanted the servers from PUBG so that they could be in China, and then they said no, and they shut down the Steam servers and stuff. And then PUBG was like, "Oh, here, you get the mobile version." Frank can't even get the mobile version of PUBG in China. Can't even get it.
Why? If you said that they haven't.
I don't know. He can't even get it. He's playing some bootleg version of it, some knockoff.
I mean, go ahead and make. What I also don't understand is if Chinese people are so much better than everybody else in the world and so much smarter than everybody else in the world, why don't you have the best of everything? Why don't you have the best video games and the best developers and the best companies and the best? If that's the case, if you have the best everything, the best people and all that, why are you even allowing all the other stuff to come in? Make your own Air Jordans that are better than Air Jordans. Just do that, but they don't. But they do copy.
Oh yeah.
And they do steal, and they do take, and they bootleg. But just make the number one bestest thing and sell that in the world with your rules and regulations behind it, and see how much gets sold.
Adidas with 3Ds and 4 stripes.
And the BNA, man, the BNA.
This article says.
I don't know about that BNA.
This article says that the reason why the Animal Crossing was banned was because the protesters in Hong Kong were putting things in their little islands that say "Free Hong Kong" and "Hong Kong Revolution."
Hence individualism in your island, because you can make your island your island.
So they're trying to crack down on third-party sales of imported copies of the game, but anybody who bought an imported Switch can then still access the game.
It's like the phones.
Right. So when we were in China, we never ever got a mainland Chinese phone because they were everything was blocked. You couldn't get iBooks, and you couldn't get this, and you couldn't get that. But if we bought a phone from Hong Kong, or we got a phone that was meant to go to the States, we had access to everything. So that's what they're doing with the Switch, is they're getting these things from Hong Kong, which everybody would go to Hong Kong to get cheaper electronics anyway, because they're unlocked. And so that's what they're doing, is they're still getting the imported copies, which is what we would do if we were in China.
Of course, but we're doing it for different reasons, because of language and all the other stuff.
Right. Access to credit cards and
all the other stuff, everything, because we're basically saying, yes, while we live in this place, we sort of live with their way of doing things, but we have a whole nother way of doing things.
And we aren't going to be here forever. Exactly.
So we need something that can travel and go wherever we go.
Also, can physical copies of games just die now?
You're asking, can it?
Yeah, because there's no reason to have something mailed to you.
But there is.
When it's literally on, especially with the Switch, everything is on the Nintendo eShop.
Yes,
there is
no, it's not about access though.
To the cartridge.
It's not about access to those things.
Outside of having the box.
This is the same thing with books. If you watch a lot of podcasts and stuff, everybody's at home right now, and basically they're all sitting there with the bookshelf behind them full of books. Well, nobody has any reason to buy a book either. Okay? And you could go and you can download any of the books that are out there, especially popular titles, and put them on your device. But when you die, Those are not things, those are not assets that then can be passed on to people, but they had the same price at the beginning. Okay? So, you know, like I have a Steam library that when my login disappears and nobody remembers it anymore, you can't get to it anymore.
Right.
That's why. That's why people have physical copies. That's the reason. Because what if you have a game system? It has its set of games that can be played on it, right? But they're all e-games. You don't have a physical copy. Guess what? You may never be able to play those games again, but you got the system sitting in front of you. A hard drive gets corrupted and you need to download those. What if those servers are not available?
I think
you see what I mean? That's why people like the idea of a cartridge, a thing, because all I need is power now.
But the main problem is, like, if you don't have, let's say the Switch, because Nintendo always has a place for a cartridge. Like, I don't even have a disk drive on my computer.
But most gaming computers come with one.
Right, but that, that's another, that's like a bigger computer then.
It can be. It doesn't have to be that big.
Like the version of my computer that has the disk drive is like heavier and has like 20 other ports on it that I don't have. Because I only have like 3 USB ports on mine.
Right. It's going to be a little bit larger, but it's not going to be ridiculously large. I mean, yes, you can have a disk drive in a thin form factor.
But like Xbox was talking about just getting rid of the disk drive.
Of course.
For space to put in more stuff.
Of course.
It's
because people are moving in that direction.
Right.
Especially like if they're gaming on their phones and iPads. There's no drive.
Yeah, there's no thing to plug in there.
But
so
there are people
physical copies become obsolete.
Yes, but physical copies don't become obsolete ever. It's like the difference between having your digital music library and having the actual CD or the LP sitting right there. You see, when I lose the ability to connect to my library electronically because I don't have any internet or whatever, I can just pick up that physical thing and play it. You see, people of a certain age, I would say, do not want to lose that ability to have a physical copy, to play a thing, and that goes through all media, Plus, I can take those things, and pass them on to whomever.
Right.
I can't pass on my digital library, and that's one of the things, to me, that needs to be changed. I should be able to pass on my digital library.
Right, once you pay for it...
Have a digital will?
Well, no,
I don't think having the will is enough. You have to now not only give access to your family members to your library online, but they have to allow you to connect to it.
Well, and that's one of the things I like about Apple is that if I buy a book or I buy a game or I buy a piece of music, I can now share it with everyone in my household.
But you can't pass it on, though.
No, but you still have access to it. You can still download it on your own device.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Not if you die.
Why not?
I don't think so. If you die and they find out that you're dead, like we can't use your login anymore, how much you want to bet that you do not get to keep, like your family does not get to keep your digital library of stuff that was through your Apple ID.
If I purchased a book, which this happened because I bought a bunch of books for you for Christmas one year or something, but I bought a bunch of books for you. If I then go to your device and download those books to your device, if my Apple ID gets disabled, you don't lose the access to those books. You already have them downloaded to your device.
You have to do it beforehand.
Right.
You couldn't pass it on.
Right. I have a feeling that they're gonna make you or make me buy it again. It's just, they're protecting their own sales.
Yeah.
And this is why they don't want to do this thing where things get passed on because, yeah, you bought it.
Yeah.
I'm married to you. If you bought that printer, right, and then I'm married to you and you die, I get to keep using the printer.
Right.
You die and that red cup is there, I get to keep using that red cup.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I get to all the books that you have.
Right.
Yeah. To me, it would seem like people would be more up in arms about that.
I don't think they think about it.
I've thought about it. I think about it all the time because basically you're always deciding, do I buy a book, like especially us, do you buy a book or do you buy the electronic version? And if you buy something...
I always get the electronic version.
But then, like I said, then it's a thing. It's a thing that you paid the same price for. At least the paperback, I think. You're paying the same money, but you're not getting the same benefit, and you're not getting the same longevity. Basically, a physical book that you buy today lasts as long as the paper doesn't disintegrate, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of my coworkers loaned me a book, a physical book, and I could have easily read it by now. The thing is that when I usually read at night, in the bed,
in the dark.
Yeah.
And you can't do that with a paper book. You can't do it.
Or you sit out here.
Yes, but I mean, but it's something about media, because we're not talking about just books. We're talking about across all media.
Yeah.
They've moved to a model that basically means he's going to say, oh yeah, that Funkadelic album that my dad used to listen to all the time, now he's got to buy it again.
Yeah.
Or that film.
Yeah, I have the
or that
Musicology. I purchased Musicology years and years and years ago when it first came out. And for whatever reason, I can only access like 3 of the songs from the album on my Apple Music. And it keeps telling me that I need to log in to download the rest of it, or it's not available to download.
You gotta sync it with your iTunes.
And it's synced with the iTunes.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know if something happened after Prince died, but now you can't download the rest of you can't even purchase the rest of the album.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
physical copies have a place.
That's the biggest problem with like Apple Music is if it's restricted in your country or whatever, you can't get to that now.
In the state. All right.
You good?
Go to the paper.
You good?
Yep.
The paper time? If you want to follow the Traveling Farrs, you can find us on the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, or the Google Podcasts, or any place that podcasts are being listened to.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
The Traveling Farrs. If you like the Instagram and the Twitters, Traveling Farrs. If you want to email us, which we always listen to your emails, so we read every email that comes in.
I do.
travelingfars@gmail.com, and the blog space, where Karen's going to put book lists.
Yeah, I'll create a book list.
The travelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry. There you go. And if you want to check out the Aaron's Game Chat, go to Aaron's Game Chat
on Instagram and Facebook.
There you go. Say goodbye to the people.
Bye, people.
Peace!
Sure.